Hello students, I hope you all are doing fine. Welcome to LedX classes. This is lecture number 9 and in this lecture I'm going to start a new unit that is criminal law. And in criminal law I'll start with the introduction. The first topic I'm going to cover is what is criminal law, followed by what is Indian Penal Code, that is IPC. What is the objective of IPC? What are the essentials of crime? What are the stages of crime? And finally, the last question I'm going to discuss is what is the difference between criminal and civil wrong. So these are all the topics which I'm going to discuss in this class. So let's start this class. Students, when we use this term, what is criminal law? What do we mean by this term? Criminal law means the laws which are related to crime. For example, IPC, which we are going to study in detail. Fine. Second one, that is CRPC, Code of Criminal Procedure. It basically tells you the procedure. What kind of a procedure? What will happen when an offense took place? Let's take one example. So, suppose A killed B. A committed the offense of murder against B. Now, A is the accused, right? Now, the police will start the investigation. Now, what is going to be the role of police? When the police can arrest, when the police cannot arrest? What is the procedure of arrest? Then, how the police will start the investigation? How the police, after what the police is going to start the investigation? What is the role of FIR? Fine. Second, once the investigation has been completed, then it comes to the role of magistrate who is going to take the cognizance, followed by the court which is going to take trial. And in trial, the court will decide whether the accused will be acquitted or convicted. Now, all the answers related to all these questions about the police, the role of magistrate, the role of court, the role of trial, the concept of appeal, all the answers lies in CRPC. So you at least should know what is CRPC. Fine. Then coming to the last third one is your Indian Evidence Act, which basically tells you what you are going to prove in court. Then how you are going to prove in court, with the help of oral evidence or documentary evidence. And who is going to prove? Who has the burden of proof things in court? So all these answers lies in Indian Evidence Act. As far as your exam is concerned, most of the time you got only questions from IPC only. And that is why we are going to study IPC in detail. So that leads to our next question. What is IPC? What is Indian Penal Code? So this term penal, it means punishment. So the meaning of IPC is nothing but law of crimes that tells you that these are the offenses and these are the punishments. I'm repeating myself. What is IPC? IPC is nothing but law of crimes, which tells you the offenses and their punishment. This is the job of IPC. Offenses and punishments, two key words. Now the second question, what is the objective of IPC? Why do we need IPC? Why should be there offenses and punishments? So students, right now you are sitting at your home. I want to raise one question. Before answering this, why do we need this concept of IPC? Right now, wherever you are sitting and watching this lecture, I want to raise one question that do you have any fear in your mind? Now, fear like someone is going to enter into your house and going to kill you, or some other offense that may take place against you or your property. The answer is no. Why? Or let's take another example. Right now, I'm recording this lecture for you. I'm sitting at my home. Do I have fear that someone will enter into my house and commit offense against me or my property? The answer is no. Why not? Because I know that I am living in a society, not in a jungle. I know there are laws, and if someone is going to do that, the person will get the punishment. But when suppose if you are in a jungle, fine. Suppose you are doing a safari or something like that, then you should have that fear. Because there are no rules in jungle. There are no laws in jungle. But when we are living in society, yes, there are laws. If someone is going to enter into my property without my permission, I'll just call 100 and call the police. And the person will be get arrested. And followed by he is going to get the punishment. Now coming to the second point, why do we need IPC? If there are no offenses, remember those slam books where you got one question, what will you do for one day if there are no laws? So, usually students write, okay, I'll rob a bank. Now, why not? We all need money. But why 99.9% of people are not robbing the bank? Because they know it's an offense. You will get the punishment. Which means if there are no offenses, it means we can do whatever we want to do. If I need money, I'll enter into someone's house, take all his cash and come out. But no, this is not how things work. We need some laws. So we have defined some acts as an offense. For example, murder. If someone is taking life of someone, that's an offense. You will get the punishment for that. Let's take some other examples. If A is committing rape, then Mr. A will get the punishment. Why? Because he is committing something which is an offense. Kidnapping, theft. Now, if someone is, committing these offenses, that person will get the punishment. But now, what if there is no IPC? It means the person will not get the punishment. Now, then what will be the situation like? The person will committing that offense again and again. And what else? So let's take one example. Mr. A murdered Mr. B. Now, if Mr. A is not getting the punishment, Mr. A will kill then Mr. C, followed by Mr. D. And then, now the family of B, C and D is going to kill Mr. A. Which means there are no laws. No one is getting punishment for murder. So anyone can take life of anyone. Which means this all will become jungle. And there comes the importance of IPC, that we do need IPC. Why? Because IPC is nothing but law of crimes, that is telling you what are the offenses and their punishments. If someone is committing, offense like acid attack, the person will get the punishment. If someone is doing sexual harassment, the person will get the punishment. If someone is committing extortion, the person will get the punishment. So that the message will be given to the society that if you are a victim, then you will get the justice. The person whosoever has committed this offense will get the punishment. And all the third parties will get a message that you should abide the law. And this is the importance, this is the reason why do we need Indian Penal Code. Fine. So we are done with what is IPC, what is the objective of IPC. Coming to the next one, what are the essentials of crime? IPC is nothing but law of crimes, which tells you offenses and its punishments. So what are the essentials of crime? Which means, suppose if I tell you A did this, B did this, then this happens, and at the end I am asking you whether any crime has taken place or not. How will you get to know about this? So there are some essentials of crime. There are 4 essentials of crime. If all are present, it means the crime has taken place. And if one or more than one is missing, then that is not the situation of crime. Now, before entering into essentials of crime, let me clarify one more topic. When I use this term crime and offense, is there any difference between these two terms? Yes, these are two different terms. What is the difference? So the difference is, let's make a circle and name it crime. And then make another circle inside that circle and make that offense, which means crime is a wider term. Everything, all the offenses are basically crime. But every crime is not an offense. And this is the major difference between these two terms, crime and offense. This IPC, the Indian Penal Code, which is a codified law. Remember, I have shown you the Bare Act of Indian Contract Act as the Indian Contract Act as well, right? So that was a codified law, starting with the Constitution of India, codified law, but law of torts, uncodified. So similarly, this is your IPC. Now, this IPC is telling you offenses like murder, culpable homicide, hurt, grievous hurt, kidnapping, abduction, fine, wrongful restraint, wrongful confinement, sexual harassment. Then there are offenses like theft, extortion, robbery, dacoity. So these are the offenses. Fine. So this was the major difference.